Oh, we're live, are we? Shit.
Oh yeah, I didn't. I just did Mario
Thanks.
dirty. I didn't tell him I hit the button.
Yep. Could have slipped out, a series of N bombs.
You could have.
Oh, you never know.
You missed a real opportunity there, brother.
That's right.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. So I did a thing. I bought me a new truck, y'all. Got a 2021 Expedition Max Limited. It is hole in the world black. Like this thing absolutely looks like a G-Jet. And I drove. I took it to work yesterday, shooting some houses, and I put about 340 miles on it yesterday. So I think I'm pretty committed to it now, because if I try to return it, they're going to charge me $1 a mile for everything over 400, and I am definitely putting another 250 on it today. So, but
Did you buy this blacked out vehicle in anticipation of being basically a handler for P Diddy? Kidnapping the freshest young Georgia bussy to transport it across the country.
Damn, son. Actually, I'm seriously considering. I'm going to wait a little bit on it, obviously, but I'm seriously considering putting BFM badging all over it.
Why not? Why not?
It looks slick. Big red and yellow logo on the side of it. Hell yeah. But yeah, freaking awesome truck. A little bit of growing pains, because let me tell you something, Mario. This is a newer vehicle than I'm accustomed to, right?
Correct.
It's got one of them newfangled fancy automatic transmissions.
Mm-hmm.
So you just
you've been driving a manual transmission for what, 30 fucking years. So
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure your left foot's going crazy. Like, what am I supposed to do? No left foot. You stay right there.
Oh yeah, and every so often I find myself, oh, there's not even a shift. There's not even like the pull down like a regular automatic. It's a volume dial. It's a little dial knob.
Yeah, so now you've rerouted your right hand to chain smoking while you're driving.
Oh, I do not smoke in my new truck.
Yeah, we'll see how long that lasts. Eventually, he'll figure out the three port injection. Okay, where you crack the driver's side, the passenger side, and the rear passenger side. Perfect wind flow. Nothing actually stays. Smoker science. Tune in for more.
Yeah, honestly, something I noticed yesterday, and I've noticed it before, and I quit smoking last year, and I still have one every now and then, but I cut way back, and I didn't smoke in my new truck at all yesterday. I was proud of myself for that. I did have to stop frequently. Just if I sit still for more than 20 minutes or so, my knees start to hurt. Especially in the when the weather's like this, it makes my knees hurt. So I gotta pull over somewhere and get out and walk around a little bit.
How much longer you got until you're that stereotypical guy sitting at the bar at the VFW? Jesus, how much?
I've done that. I've done that. No joke, man. No joke. And Mario, you should take me up on this and be controversial. Any of you guys, sorry, Danny, sorry, Dad. You guys don't particularly count in this particular conversation. But check out your American Legion, your VFW. For you younger veterans, right? Your veteran, and when I say younger veterans, I'm talking 40s and 50s, guys.
Yeah, it's not just
right.
It's not just the old. Yep.
But even you went in and did one contract in your early 20s. You got out at 25, 26. With or without a deployment, a combat tour, you're a veteran. And the VFW, the American Legion especially, the VFW is more of a social club, and the American Legion is to an extent, but they put on events for veterans. They do that kind of stuff, but they're your lobbying connection.
Yeah.
As a veteran, they lobby the government for your benefits, for your veterans' benefits, for veteran uh, Veterans Administration reform. We this is something shit. We could do a whole
It's the
that's
same reason.
a premium.
It's the same reason why it's worth basically participating in your local Republican Party. Okay, it basically gives you. It's basically your foot in the door. You can at least get some visibility, and you can basically talk to low-level apparatchiks within the Republican Party, and it's more access and it's more influence than nothing. I'll tell you
No,
that.
you
Um,
can talk with higher level guys. I've had lunch with Vernon Jones. I've I've hugged Herman Cain. I've had conversations with Doug Collins, the
yep.
new VA chief, like face to face. I've hugged Brian Kemp.
Yeah.
I'm not Kemp's biggest fan, but he is at least on the surface one of our guys.
Yeah.
Um,
But American Legion, though, yeah, I do I like drinking at the American Legion. Okay, like yeah,
yeah,
you walk in most of the time, and it's a bunch of like crusty old dudes, and you're like, oh god, do I really fit in here? But then you sit down and you talk to one of them, and it's like you're basically talking to like Clint Eastwood from Gran Torino, and you're like, oh, this is pretty fucking based.
yeah. And so, and I've got pretty good vet radar. I've got about a 90% success rate at just spotting somebody and say, "You served," right? And I get a chuckle or sometimes a out of people in public. I'll just walk up to some random stranger in public and say, "Hey, man, when'd you get out?" And they immediately, about 90% of the time, he immediately knows what I'm talking about. He says, "Oh, I retired and so, or I got out and so." And then you have, "Oh, what was your MOS? Where were you stationed?" And God forbid, if you got some time to burn, a couple old vets can stand there and run their mouths forever. But you meet interesting people that way. But when you start talking about, the American Legion or going to, I had not planned on having this conversation on air today, but since I know we've got several vets in the chat here, the American Legion and the Republican Party both. I saw this, going to small Republican Party meetings all over the state. It's all old people, and I mean old people. I'm 43. I'm the young guy in the room. I'm often the youngest guy in the room when I go to stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they need young blood, not just because they're dying off, but one of the things that's true about that is because they don't have the younger guys in there, they lose effectiveness. They're disconnected. So yeah, you've got your total talent pool shrinking as the older guys die off. But they're these guys don't know shit about social media in a lot of cases.
That's what I was going to say. Correct.
They're not plugged in. They don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same problem with the whole gerontocracy.
Yeah, they don't know how to access modern media. Same for like Knights of Columbus as well. Same thing. If you're Catholic, similar thing for me. I joined a billiards league. Okay, and it's almost exclusive. I'm one of the youngest people in the room, and
A billiards league.
Yeah.
Not pool. Billiards.
Well, it's the same thing. If I say pool league, I'll have to disambiguate that it's hit the balls with a stick, make them go in the hole. If I say billiards, everyone knows what I mean.
One assumes. So Mario's spending his post-military career.
Megan, tell Lincoln we say hi back. Thank you.
Yes, Lincoln. Hey, buddy. Can't wait to see you guys on Sunday. Oh, yeah. And okay, so let's do a Firearms Friday show.
All right.
You know what though? This is good. Part of the point to the Firearms Friday show is, once a week. Yes, we're big 2A advocates and all that, but also part of the point is doing a live show is a lot of work. It's hard. And so Friday, I want to do the show 5 days a week, right? But because Friday is always Firearms Friday, it's very rare that we're getting surprised by what the news topic is for today. Like there's some news out there right now from yesterday that I want to cover that we're going to skip today. We're going to put it off a little bit. We're going to come back to it in a few days.
There is one that is somewhat pertinent to the show, okay, and that was the resignation of the DC Capitol Police Chief, okay, Chief Manger.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, who resigned after it was revealed that individuals were able to sneak into the Capitol with a gun on two separate dates or since Trump won office. Okay, one was on Inauguration Day, and the second was on the day that he gave his congressional address. Hmm. Hmm. What are the odds of that? So he's resigned in disgrace, rather than. I mean, I would too. That's a can of worms that could end up, getting you sent to an AMX freaking supermax prison for the rest of
yeah,
your miserable life.
yeah, and that you gotta that doesn't happen by accident.
No, no, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Um,
And
I
if you look at the photo of the man, he looks like the type of craven, weak man who would passively allow evil to occur under his watch.
yeah,
Just some freaking marshmallow stuffed in a suit. Piece of shit.
right, yeah. I covered Trump's press address to the NRA convention in 2017 when they had the big NRA convention at the CNN building in downtown Atlanta, and it was like 150 acres of gun show, and Trump came out on stage, and it was the whole thing with musical performers and Trump, and I was actually in the press pool, big press badge on my chest, and yeah, we had to go through Secret Service security with portable magnetometers, and they searched all the camera bags and gave us the pat down. Uh, and this was an NRA event, right, in Georgia, so you could carry your firearm in the event, but you couldn't carry it into the area where Trump was presenting. So, like Steve and Patrick and I, and Cameron, we had to all go back out to the trucks, lock our guns up in the trucks, go in, to cover the speaking event, and then go back and get our guns and put them back on and go back into the rest of the NRA event. And I'm telling you guys, you're not slipping a gun by those guys. You're just not. Uh, yeah, that's just not how it works. Okay, we've got this video Mario wants me to watch. I haven't seen it yet, guys, so I'm going to be watching this for the first time with you guys.
All right.
And this is our first DGU story.
Harder, but you need to try less being like.
Say again?
Faces. Remove your face if you want.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha. I'll back it up.
Harder, but you need to try less being like somebody you're not and start to humble yourself and be somebody that God made you to be. He didn't make a man to be a woman. He made the man to be a man. He didn't make the woman to be a man. He made the woman to be a woman. And this is the truth. What are you going to do? Come attack me now? I should. Hey, man, it's up to you. If you want to pull that on me, well, God bless you. So you just threatened me with a gun. You just pulled a gun on my face. Man, Lord have mercy on you. This means that you don't even know who you are. Nope, I still love you. Even though you pulled a gun on me, I still love you. I still bless you. Harder.
What?
Yeah, totally sane.
Damn.
Totally normal behavior. I just.
Well, the transgenders. Let me tell you everything you actually need to know about transgenders in America today, especially with regard to the activism. Transgenderism, medically, the psychological condition, gender dysphoria, is a DSM-5 mental disorder, mental illness. Early on, right after Obergefell and they started all the bathroom controversy garbage, right?
Yep.
Early on, the trans activists were lobbying to have the DSM-5 amended to remove gender dysphoria as a mental illness.
Correct.
Now, remember, one of the changes when we went from DSM-4 to DSM-5, there were several changes in the sexual depravity department. Homosexuality was no longer classified as an illness. It was changed to a preference. And more importantly, more terrifyingly, pedophilia.
Yep.
was changed to be listed as a sexual preference rather than a mental illness, which is psychotic. Gender dysphoria was not. They lobbied for it, and then a bunch of the activists came out and said, whoa, 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 hold up, wait a minute. If you get them to remove gender dysphoria from the DSM-5 as a mental disorder, then you can't get government-funded gender transition surgeries, gender transition drugs,
Correct.
castration pills. You can't give happy life suppression drugs to infants, and all that government money goes away if you tell them to if you make them stop recognizing your condition as a mental illness. And for that reason, for that political reason, for that, give me my Gibbs, give me my free money, Mr. Government, for that reason, it remains classified as a mental disorder.
Yep. There's supposed to be a wall of separation between the science and politics. Okay. However, there is not. That started. I believe it was the environmentalist movement that basically kind of broke through that wall initially in the early 80s. Now there were some weird people doing weird sexual studies, like John Money, like castrating babies and raising them as women.
Yeah.
Okay.
John Money should have always been in prison.
Or Kiersey, was it Kiersey or Curie? Remember the sexologist? Is if that's a legitimate study of the sexologist who published that manual on basically sexuality in the United States, where it was pretty much shit straight out of the Hirschfeld like Trans Institute from 1930s Germany, right? Kiersey, I believe his name was Kiersey. Have you never heard of this guy, Chris?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, got it. But yeah, the environmentalist movement basically kind of pushed the politics into the science. Now, for those who don't know, DSM, by DSM he means the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual for Mental Disorder. It's the official book. It's about that big of recognized mental disorders. Okay.
Yeah.
And that was the moment that gender dysphoria was removed as a mental illness, opening the path for the trannies. That was when I basically just disregarded the DSM. Okay.
No. That you missed it. Gender dysphoria was not removed.
Oh.
They lobbied. At first they lobbied to have it removed, and then the lobbyists, lawyers came in and explained to them, no. If you have it removed, then you lose access to all these government programs and money.
I got it. I missed it. Okay.
Yeah, they lobbied to have it removed to begin with, and then the lobbyist lawyers came in and said, "Whoa, that'll shut off the gravy train."
Yeah, you get it.
You don't want none of that. You need this to continue to be a mental disorder.
To get taxpayer money, you have to be crazy.
Right. If you want to enlist in the army so that the government will cut your penis off, then you have to have this disorder listed in the DSM. Because for some reason, that sickness is not a disqualifier to service. It is now, but it wasn't for a long time. But for some reason, that wasn't a disqualifier, but flat feet and asthma were.
Due to reasons such as this, and plus my personal experience with behavioral health in the Army, I downgraded psychiatry and psychology to soft sciences, in my opinion. Okay, no longer view it as a legitimate like testable and diagnosable science. Basically, one of the many institutions that I have effectively abandoned at this point. Do you want me to take? Basically, all it is they're just marketing pills. They want you to take the pills on behalf of the pharmaceutical companies. Okay. Now I know that there are some people who are so psychotic that if they're not taking pharmaceuticals, they're going to basically they're a danger to themselves and to others. Okay. But for the vast majority of the people, and 50% of American women who are currently on psychoactive medication, no. I 100% guarantee that's not the case. The reason you think you need drugs, the reason you're miserable, is because you are having an honest and natural reaction to the world around you and to the society around you. All right.
Correct.
You are not crazy. It's basically Society is fucked up, and your brain is rejecting it. That doesn't make you crazy. That makes you sane. Okay, it's just
Well,
how
it's
you have to find a way to cope with that, and basically find a path through the madness that you experience on a daily basis.
it's an attempt by atheists, narcissists, and sociopaths
I chose
to
alcohol.
delete religion, to delete religion and co-opt legitimate magic
Mhm.
with hallucinogens, essentially. Now, and when I say legitimate magic, right, I'm not talking about some Harry Potter, you know, magic wands and fireballs bullshit. I mean the very real magic that is in the world, like sitting with your priest, your preacher, your religious advisor, leader, and talking through a problem, praying for help, and getting help, even if that help is just the preacher helping you to better understand the internal of you. Oh, uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
this is a whole other show topic, but very much like the conversation that we have often on this show about thresholds, right? A parent cannot explain to a non-parent what it really means to have children, right? Just an adult who has gone through puberty and become a responsible adult. You cannot transmit that paradigm shifting,
yeah,
uh, I, the data of that paradigm shifting experience to a person who hasn't had it. The same is true of legitimately religious experiences. You cannot merely transmit that data back. That's why faith is so important, right? You need someone you can trust, that you trust so much. Okay, for example, Mario. Mario's one of the smartest motherfuckers I've ever met. Now, when I say that, I have been approached by Mensa and asked to test for membership. Right? I am a graduate of the most competitive university in the world, the Kupanweguko Hote Hakyo. Right? I'm a smart dude, and I've traveled in circles with some of the smartest people on the planet. And Mario's one of the sharpest motherfuckers I've ever met. To an extent that if Mario says that there's something worth being concerned about with relation to, oh, I don't know, the JQ, for example, even if I have no other reason to have a suspicion that Mario sees something there, is enough for me to say, okay, let me take a look, let me give it thought. Trust like that. You need somebody like that to tell you, listen, brother, trust me on this. Right? Just Cameron, you guys all know Cameron. This is a more mundane example. Cameron had never had Korean food before. I took him out and I put a plate of kimchi in front of him, which is intentionally rotted cabbage. For the average American palate, it is a terrifying endeavor. It's one of those things that you're like, I don't know. That's one of the weird foreign foods.
now,
And I said,
think
and
of
I
it like
said,
spicy sauerkraut. It's spicy sauerkraut.
and I just said, no, trust me, right? Think of the people who can come to you with a 1,000-year duck egg from Thailand and say, no, trust me.
No,
No, yeah, that is in fact my line.
I will eat rotting vegetables. Okay? Rotting vegetables, fermented vegetables that exist in every culture to a degree. Okay,
Oh yeah,
rotting meat, no. No. The only reason the 1,000-year egg is part of your tradition is because you motherfuckers were starving at one point, and you decided, well, we gotta eat it. That's
like
fact.
the Haitian dirt cookie.
Yeah. hmm Yeah. Same reason I don't eat chicken feet. Okay, I don't eat chicken feet because I live in a society that's prospering enough where we don't have to eat every piece of scrap from the chicken. Okay, I
Yeah,
give chicken.
sometimes you throw away the assholes.
I give chicken feet to my Chihuahua because it's hilarious to watch him eat them. He just like traps it with his little paws and nibbles on it like a rat. It's hilarious. He does.
Of course, you have a Chihuahua. Jesus.
I do. I do. I don't have a doorbell. I don't have a doorbell. I need a Chihuahua. Okay.
We should start selling Chihuahua puppies as wireless doorbells.
highly effective. The problem is you can't turn them off so easily.
Hecho en Mexico.
Hecho en Mexico. But yeah.
Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna play it one more time.
But you need to try less being like somebody you're not and start to be a.
I'm just gonna skip ahead a little bit.
Freeze frame.
Hey man, that's up to you. If you're gonna do, come attack me now.
Yep, there it is.
You got to admit that I don't know. I can't tell from this resolution. I'm actually decent at. I can differentiate Japanese, Korean, and Chinese pretty well. Okay, resolution though, not quite sure. I'm going to guess Korean.
Yeah,
that guy's got some balls. I think he's got some roof Koreans in his family tree. Okay.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look.
Hey man, that's up to you. If you want to pull that on me, well, God bless you. So you just threatened me with a gun. You just pulled a gun on my face. Man, Lord have mercy on you. This means that you don't even know.
Okay, yeah, this guy's Korean. Okay, it's not terribly difficult. Okay, so Chinese straight out, right? Koreans are up and kind of the happy almond eye, right? And this it was explained to me this way by a native born Korean speaker who was teaching us Korean at the time. And then he explained that the Japanese you can spot because their almond eyes tilt kind of down at the corners because they don't deserve to be happy.
Man, this is like casual 1950s racism. I
love it. Korean racism is one of the funniest things on the planet.
Oh,
it's also and Asians are, Asian racism is pernicious.
Anyone who's traveled abroad realizes that everybody is in fact racism. Racism isn't even a real thing. Racism is a term invented by Trotsky, okay, yeah. the founder of the Red Army, as a way to basically divide people, okay, to get them to kill each other. All right.
I haven't mined this particular well in a long time on the show, but anybody, if you've never traveled abroad, if you've lived your entire life in America, and you're under the age of about 50, you've never experienced real proper racism. It hasn't happened to you. With very, very few exceptions. Like you talk about neo-Nazis, skinheads, white supremacists in America. They're practically non-existent, especially for any practical purpose that you're going to encounter them in the wild. But like in '99, I went to Spain with a school group. And it was kind of I was still a high school student. I had just turned 18, and I was no longer in the Spanish program, but my Spanish is pretty good. The teacher asked me to come along, just have another body on the ground. So I was half-assed, kind of a chaperone for that project. And one of the things that I was approached and specifically asked about by the cops that did our foreign travel security brief, they came and said, "Hey, Chris, look, you guys, there's one black guy going with you. You're going to Spain. We need you to keep an eye on him. He doesn't understand this, and we've told him, but he really does not understand it. He's going to be in legitimate danger." Like, okay. And that was a thing. We had an incident where I shit you not, a Vespa gang tried to grab him, and I had to throw a guy off a Vespa in downtown Toledo. It was surreal. It was very surreal.
Hey, but watch out for your dad. I think Sergeant Major's having flashbacks from Zone 1 near the DMZ. I think he's
You gotta be careful when you start talking about the peninsula around the old man. He'll remind you that they barbecued his dog for his birthday one time.
Let's drop some heinous shit casually. Like, oh,
They just
you like anecdotes? I got anecdotes. Anyway, speaking of which, I do have a couple. I do have an anecdote from Korea. All right, so I was stationed there for a year in 2008 to 2009. Right, I wasn't a Korean linguist because I actually just barely failed the test. Okay, so I got recycled as just a general signals intelligence analyst. But my first duty station was Korea. Funny how they managed that. And
yeah.
the moment I show up there, everyone of course knows me because I went to the same school as them, and they're like, "Well," I'm like, "Well, actually, first sergeant, technically, I'm not a Korean linguist. I shouldn't be." Yeah, you're good enough. Go ahead and get. So they got a pretty good.
Usually,
They got a pretty good deal because they
I
got to use
graduated
me.
that program and never went to Korea.
True. So anyway, it was a great deal for them because they got to use me as a full-time linguist, okay, in the processing, analysis, and reporting shop. All right, and
They
great,
didn't have to pay you for
funny
it,
little loophole. They never had to send me to language training because I'm not a Korean linguist. Very clever,
and
Army. Very
and they
clever.
didn't have to pay you the $200 or $300 in foreign language
That's
proficiency
correct.
bonus pay.
That's correct. That's correct.
I
So
enjoyed my flip bonus.
anyway, so even though I just barely failed the Korean, I still spoke Korean well at the time. Okay,
Yeah.
I could just walk out the gate and navigate society, get wherever I needed to go, no problem. All right. So I had a friend, not a Korean linguist, and we would go out and like hang around. I'd be like, hey man, you want to go on an adventure with Mario? It can get crazy. And yes, he did. Yes, he did. Because if you want alcohol fueled merriment, I'm your guy. All right, especially at the time. So we'd go out, basically party. Now there were two incidents where we experienced actual racism. We tried to go in a restaurant once. It was an authentic restaurant, like so authentic that they half the menu was in Hanja. Okay, like they didn't even use
Oh
Hangul
Jesus!
on it. Okay,
Not even in
yeah,
Korean.
yeah, exactly,
So
exactly.
for the audience, when you're looking at a document that's in Korean and part of the document is in Hanja, what that
Yeah.
means is it's in Chinese.
If you're looking at the script and it's basically all sticks and circles, that's Korean. Okay. If you see Chinese characters, that's Hanja. They add it in there just like the Japanese do. Okay.
Yeah,
And
and
anyway,
they use it interchangeably.
yeah. And anyway, so the hostess basically refused to serve us. Like no, just refused outright to serve us. Refused to listen to me, and I just walked out. Right. Just my friend and I walked out, and I looked at him like, dude, we got legit racially discriminated against. And he's like, that's fucking crazy, Mario. I'm like, I know. High fives. We did it. We're victims now. All I ever wanted in life was to be a victim so I could feel special too. And then the same thing happened at a nightclub. But yeah, funny. Yes. Koreans can be racist against white people. Hilarious.
You know what? I need to start selling. The DD-214 whoobies on here. Have you seen those?
I'm
It's
imagining
a
the DD-214 as a blanket.
it's just a big ass blanket
Yeah,
with a DD-214 on it. I think you can get them customized with your actual DD-214.
nice. So anyway, to go back to the mental health thing we were on there. So, my time, my last few years in the Army, okay, I was basically in the behavioral health program, okay. And it's one of
Yeah.
those things in the Army, by the way. Like if you ever go to ASAP, like alcohol, substance abuse prevention, or whatever, or you ever check into mental health, right? They always tell you in the Army, like, hey, being asking for help is a courageous act. Like you shouldn't hesitate. Well, I agree to some degree, okay, but then again, you need to understand that if you go seek help, you will never stop being helped. Okay, they don't just let you go, okay, on your way, and decide that you are cured or you are remediated of whatever condition you are facing. No, you're in there for you're in there for the rest of the ride in the Army. Unfortunately, anyway, they want me to take these basically, and my situation was thus. This was in 2014, 2015. All right. We're in the last few years of the Obama administration. I can clearly see the country is going to shit, and the military is going to shit.
Yeah.
And looks like next up we've got Hillary effing Clinton. All right, who's most likely going to be the next president? Because I didn't think Donald Trump was going to win until, oh gosh, probably like less than 30 days before the election is when I finally am like, there's a movement here. I can feel it. So I was pretty black pilled at the time. Okay. Plus I was having family issues, which I won't go into. All right. So anyway, the army decided, well, you just need to take these pills. So I took them. I tried to follow the script for a month. All right. Took these pills. All right. This was the result of those pills. Instead of being depressed or anxious or worried about the future, all right, instead of anxiety, I in fact felt nothing. And that feeling of nothing was actually more alarming to me than feeling bad. Like I would rather feel something. I would rather feel anger 24 hours a day. I would rather feel sorrow 24 hours a day than I would rather feel nothing. Okay? Made me feel like I was an NPC, like just like a drone. Okay?
So
And
like
and
so
on a
like
personal and
drug-induced narcissism or drug-induced
on a
nihilism.
personal note, that down there, nothing. Okay? So yeah, I stopped fucking taking them. I'm like, this doesn't help me. I don't understand what you're trying to do. You're not trying to you're not trying to you're not trying to fix me. You're just trying to nullify me. You're trying to basically quiet me and put me aside. And I
Soma.
refuse. It's Soma. Exactly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
When you deployed, did you have to take doxycycline? Did you get the doxycycline pills for malaria?
No, no, I don't think so.
See,
There's
we
no,
did. We
there's
did.
not, there's
And
not much. There's less malaria in a. Well, no, I never took it. No. Why?
yeah,
Tell me.
we did. And that one of the side effects was, they told us it might cause you to have strange dreams. They said strange dreams, right? Dude, dude,
By
I had
strange, we mean psychotic fever dreams,
yeah,
where you
I,
wake up,
I had
where you wake up in a cold sweat, smelling like piss, and you're like, "What the fuck is going on?"
you wake up in a cold sweat smelling like piss. What the fuck is going on? And hours and sometimes days to convince yourself that the dream wasn't reality.
Oh God, really?
I had uh
No,
and
with a normal bad dream, you wake up and you're like,
oh, that was
"Oh,
a bad
thank
dream.
God." Oh
Yeah.
boy. Okay.
No, no. I had one where I dreamt that I came home from, like, this was toward the beginning of my deployment. I dreamt that I had just redeployed. I had just landed in Hawaii, and the notification team met me at the plane to tell me that my wife and brand new baby girl had died in a car crash while I was deployed, and they decided not to tell me because they were afraid that it would complicate my combat readiness. We happened to be in the middle of a commo blackout in the real world then. It took me 2 or 3 days to convince my brain that it was not, in fact, the case that the army was holding me in Afghanistan while somebody else was burying my wife and child. And that is not the one that made me throw the fucking pills away. I had much worse than that. I mean, whoa. Yeah, I'm not a fan of pharmaceuticals.
Yeah. Tell you what, my I'm on Lent right now, so I'm 40 days, going to be 40 days alcohol free. I'm on what am I on day? I've been over a week now, but I'll tell you what, if you drink every single day, all right, and then you go cold turkey, you're gonna have some interesting dreams those first 72 hours. Okay, I'm talking
I
like,
bet.
the shit with like dead kids, you're falling off cliffs, freaking elevator cables snapping. All right, you're getting shot in the face, like stuff where you wake up, like I said, in a cold sweat, smelling like asparagus pea, and you're just like, "What are you doing, brain? It's not that bad, okay?"
You ever wake up and panic because you're not hugging a rifle?
I woke up once in panic because I had a dream that my rifle was missing in my chew, and at that point, yes, I did grab it and I held it for the remainder of the night. Yeah.
Yeah. Whew. Well, this show kind of went off the rails for the Firearms Friday. I think we've had a good conversation this
Well,
morning.
there was a sprinkling of firearms through these random topics. I mean, come on. And,
little tranny terror, you know.
yeah.
What's a Friday without a little tranny terror?
Pull up one if you have one.
Let's do one.
Someone's got to get shot.
Ooh, not that one.
Yeah.
Let me find one that doesn't go.
I mean, I was casually searching for some while we were on air, but it's mostly just.
Well, I've got several pulled up, but
it's just wackos shooting each other. There's
now we're at the end of the
defense involved.
Yeah, now that we're at the end of the show, and I need to go ahead and wrap it up because I got to go to work. This one's a feminism story, so it doesn't have to get angry. Woman shoots boyfriend in self-defense during domestic dispute. Okay,
tragic.
Okay, that's the headline, and that's all you get for now, because like Cameron and I make it a point every time we get a story even marginally similar to this. Feminists, if you are not carrying a firearm, you are not a feminist. Right? Faced in a dark alley with 300 pounds and 6.5 feet of muscled hate, it is a firearm. It is not Krav Maga. It is not the cute little silver spiky point on your keychain. It is a fucking gun that will get you out of there alive. If you are not armed, right? If you know somebody who says she's a feminist and she is not armed, she is at best a commie play actor.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, there's no reason. Every woman, a 38 special in every purse loaded with some Hornady plus P rounds. Yeah, you'll drop anyone. Just pull it out, point and click, over. Okay, promise you.
And plus, chicks have a distinct tactical advantage because you carry a purse.
Exactly.
It takes me a minute to draw a weapon. Yeah. You know, somebody comes up on you with a gun and says, "Give me your wallet." You reach in your purse. Okay, bam! You don't draw the weapon. You shoot through the bottom of the purse.
Exactly. For us, it's difficult because, like, we could, we have to like hide the weapon like on our person. You know what I mean? And it's like, you ate too many tacos last night. Now you can't properly conceal your weapon. You know what I mean? So that was a joke for you, Larry.
Yeah.
Well.
Actually, you know what? Funny story, Mario. Whenever I go to like the VA where you can't carry your firearm into the building, it says on the property, but fuck you. I'm not going 60, 80 miles away from my house unarmed. I'll lock it in the truck, and that's going to just have to be good enough for you, G-man.
Exactly.
Right. Or
it's in the center console.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Or I go to my chiropractor, right? He doesn't have a policy that says don't bring your gun in. It's just I'm going in for somebody to work on my back. I'm going to be late. Okay, so I lock my gun in the truck, right? When I do that, my pants don't fit right. I find myself doing the gangster thing where I'm just constantly pulling my pants back up. My pants are fitted for a gun.
You have the exact opposite problem.
Exactly. Yeah, I take my pistol. My pistol is part of the complex mechanism of belts and straps that holds my pants in place.
My problem is the opposite. I ate too much, and now I got a bulge on the side of my like under my shirt.
No, you're doing it wrong, man. When you go buy pants, right? You should be armed anyway, right? You go buy pants, you take them to the fitting room, you try them on with the gun.
Look, I live in Florida.
And that's your safety brief. Don't wear your firearm into your chiropractor's office.
I live in Florida. I don't.
Crack, bang, whoa. Sorry.
I live, I live in Florida, so I generally don't wear pants. Okay, I normally don't wear shoes either. Okay, I wear cargo shorts. Okay, like I'm some kind of herb, like some herb ass white man looking like Doug from that '90s cartoon, right? And I just keep a pistol in the cargo pocket, whatever, man. Um, I don't need a officially licensed by ex-combat operators like every freaking Rumble commercial. I mean, every single Rumble commercial, it's like, oh, the government doesn't want you to have this, or oh, the military doesn't want you to have this.
Yeah, I tell you what, the government doesn't want you to have.
Ex special forces flashlight, ex special forces carry pouch. Like, no,
You
stop
know,
it.
Mario, I've got one of those. I've got one of those things the government doesn't want you to have. I took it to Afghanistan with me. It's a Class 5 burning laser.
Oh yeah, one of the.
It looks like a lightsaber. Right? I mean, it's clearly intentionally designed to look like the handle of a lightsaber.
Yeah.
But you can light cigarettes with it. You can set fire to a pile of classified documents
You better
with
be careful lighting a cigarette. You don't blow out your. Like,
yeah, you gotta
cant it away from you.
exactly. You gotta kind of point it this way and
yeah.
But I can tell you from personal experience, it will neutralize snipers.
Like you hit him in the optic.
In the optic or the eyes.
Yeah.
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 Permanent blindness at 1,000 meters.
Yeah, just for a split second.
Just zip.
Instant optic nerve.
Yep. And that's yeah.
Christopher, that is a war crime.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I gotta talk to about that.
It's all right. Afghanistan was a little more Wild West than
it
Iraq,
really was.
than Iraq was. Okay, I've heard some what are they, popper things? I've heard stories of like just guys in units that I was with who were deployed to Afghanistan, basically just fucking with the kids. Okay, with like poppers and there's some. I don't remember what it was called. I don't remember what it was or what the purpose of it was. But anyway, just I don't know. Never mind.
We had a unit that went to raid a house on our intelligence signals. We told them, this is the house, this is the place. Go, the bad guys here, go get them. And the strike team hit the house next door. They completely screwed it up. They hit the wrong house. So they flashbang this house, and this is an Afghani compound, right? And they've got cattle in the yard. They've got like 3 or 4 cows in the enclosure, right? And we had surveillance video on this thing. They threw a flashbang in the house before they went in. Scared a bunch of women and children. The bad guy wasn't there because, like I said, they hit the wrong house. But the second the flashbang went off, the cows just started to piss. All the cows startled, and they started to piss.
Yeah.
And continued to do so. We had the video. We had the video. Continued to do so for like 10 minutes without stop. Yeah. Just where do you even have that? The volume, man. But there's not that much water in this desert.
Yeah, it's like watching a horse piss. Okay, it's like a broken water main. It's like what really? Like,
yeah, maybe you ought to try doing that more often, brother. All right, I got to get on the road, or I'm going to be late to my first appointment. So
we're talking about cow dicks. That's a good sign that it's over.
Yeah, cow dicks is a natural tapering point.
Correct.
Okay, thanks for watching this ridiculous show this week, guys. We love you, and we will see you. Let me get you. I'm gonna put you on the spot, Mario. Are we gonna do a premium show tomorrow night?
I
Let me
not
rephrase.
opposed.
I'm going to do a premium show tomorrow night. Are you going to join me?
80%, 80% odds.
Okay.
80% odds. All right.
I'll take those odds. I'm going to try to get Cameron in too.
The more developed a concept you provide me, the more likely I am to be here.
Oh, we're going to be talking about left-wing terrorism and specifically swatting right-wing activists and personalities. We're going to discuss the question, is swatting murder?
Attempted? Is it terrorism?
Well, obviously it's attempted murder.
Okay.
The intent is always murder.
All right. We'll see.
Okay. All right, guys. Y'all be safe out there. We love you, and we will see you tomorrow.
Ciao. So